Self-defense myth 15. Once you've been through something, you're completely fearless of that type of thing ever again. Complete nonsense. If the way it worked was once you've been through it, you no longer fear it, we wouldn't have so many military personnel going to therapy because of post-traumatic stress syndrome. More often than not, if you go through a situation and you didn't want to go through it, and you're still shaken up by it, it's going to be the worst thing ever, and you're going to be more afraid of it than you ever were before, and you're probably going to be more afraid of other things similar to it that you never really thought about before. This is why it's so important with self-defense that not just the physical application of what we're doing, but the mental, the psychological part of it. That's why I will try to, in my sessions with you, deconstruct the biology of it. So the mechanism of it and the mechanics of it are the physical. The mechanics of push off the ball of our foot, pop the hip forward. After the hip has popped forward, then the shoulder comes around, and it's that torque that generates the power for the shot. The biology of it is being able to say, the guy's going to spot you, he's going to take you as being a target, as being prey, because he thinks you're weak. He's going to get to about this close, he's then going to start talking to you, he's then gauging you. Everything we do here is going to determine. We need to keep our hand fences up. He's going to figure we know what we're doing, he'll move on if we give him the correct loophole and give him the right posturing to move on. The psychology of it is you're going to be hit with an adrenaline dump. When that adrenaline hits you, you're immediately going to mistake it for fear. If we can control the adrenaline, which we'll go into in another tape, you're good to go. Once you've been there, quite often when you get that adrenaline dump, you like it. Hopefully it won't become addictive, but you do get people who go out looking for fights all the time because they're addicted to that adrenaline rush. So we don't want to get to that stage, obviously, and I'm not suggesting you go out and get into fights to become desensitized to it. But in your self-defense class, you should have people this close to you screaming that they're going to rip your face off. You should have people really, like we did a seminar a few months ago, and one of the big comebacks from it was everything was great, but a lot of people weren't comfortable with the language being used. That, to me, suggests we're on the right track. Because if you're uncomfortable with the language being used in a room when you're saying it to people you know, how are you going to feel when it's someone you don't know who's coming over aggressive and saying it to you? You're going to buckle immediately. So you need to go over this stuff. So if you can understand what's going to happen to you, understand why it's happening, you'll have a good example. You have a good chance of getting away. As an example, I will link under here Small Wars and Fear, 2 books by Geoff Thomspon. They're worth picking up. You'll see it in the book review. But just be aware that just being pushed through something isn't going to make you completely fearless of the situation. It's not like someone's been attacked or mugged and now they have no fear of it because, hey, I lived through it and I'm still standing, I'm stronger than ever. It doesn't work that way. Most of the people who live through something like that go, no problem now, absolutely fearless. They're actually psychologically damaged. Probably not the politically correct way of saying it, but it gets my point across. If you do go through something, reach out and talk to someone. If you do go through something that's playing on your mind, that has adversely affected how you do things, whether it has made you completely fearless, which is actually just having a death wish, or whether it's made you so scared now that you won't leave the house, talk to someone. If you can't get a doctor's appointment, and I believe a doctor can, with house calls, you can still, through the NHS, get doctors to come to you if, when you make the appointment, you say what's going on. Get online, get into forums, get on to chat rooms with other people who've been through things. Make sure it's a safe chat room. You don't want a chat room where just anybody can go in and go, you're all a bunch of pansies. Be careful whose advice you take. Be patient with the advice that you do take. If you are going through something, for the love of God, please do get help. Ask for help. Go see someone who is qualified to give you the help. I'm not. Certainly with that type of thing. But it's a myth that going through something makes you fearless of another type of situation like that. Any comments, questions, suggestions, queries, pop them in the box. Until next time, stay safe.